WorldTempus family, thank you for joining us once again for a little hands-on session with the WorldTempus Showcase. We have a special guest today. You may recognize our friend Xavier from Czapek that you may have seen quite a few times before in some of our previous videos. He has something very special in his hands today that he's going to show us, something that's come fresh from Watches and Wonders. Xavier, tell us what is it that you have in your hands that you're hiding so carefully from my eyes?
I hide it because I want it to become your new love. Because I know you. You are always attracted with masculine watches with a sleek design. And I hope that there, after 2.5 years of working, we have made it so that it may be given a little attention from your very discerning eyes.
So before Xavier actually shows us the new watch, he's going to give us a little bit of context on where the evolution and the improvements are coming from. So what is it that we're looking at right here?
Right here we look at the SHX5 in its newest version. But the architecture of the watch has not changed. Here, that was the inspiration for Revelation. Because a lot of people were telling us, wow, your watch is beautiful, I love the sporty look, but when I look at the back, it's even nicer. Could you imagine a way for us to look at the back while we look at our watch? And so that's why we started thinking, okay, we need to do a skeletonized version, and we need to respect in this skeletonized version the architecture of this watch. So the balance or bridge that is at the bottom here is going to be the red line, the motto that you will discover all along the skeletonized version.
Then this angled bridge that we
yes,
see right
exactly. They are all angled on the side, and the small three bridge there that come from the small pocket watches of 200 years ago. These also are going to be used in the same way on the other side. What will change is that in the back of this micro rotor there will be some void, some space, and also the way we've treated the automatic bridge is a bit floating in the air. Now we can look at the results.
So let's look at the two watches side by side with the construction completely exposed, as you can see. And I think it's immediately very clear what Xavier was describing.
So the first thing that strikes you is that you're facing the escapement. Yes, we have turned it upside down in a certain way that making a new balanced bridge that goes deeper inside the movement, keeping the same position of the wheels, we could power the whole movement. On the right, you can see the three little bridges, which are here, not bridges, but part of the main plate, following exactly the style and the geometry of the original bridges that are on the other side. If we go up, we see a new mechanism, beautifully assembled with three parts. It looks like the head of an alligator. And when we manipulate it, we will see that the stop second that is on the right, like the two thin legs, are going to push the balance wheel and stop it directly. So you can know exactly. And then
so we're pulling out the stop seconds.
Yes, and here we are. And we see between the two legs of the balance wheel, we have just the little part of metal that is touching the wheel and stopping the stop second. I really insisted on having the possibility to see that. All the constructors, they were like, who cares about a stop second? I'm like, no, everybody wants to see the stop second because nobody can see a stop second. So for once they are going to be able to see it.
I'm going to put the crown in
push
so
it
you
down.
can see it.
Exactly. So you see up,
there
and
it goes.
Then put it back again, up, and it stops. And here we see that because we're working with a prototype that has not been worn before we talk, we haven't restarted the watch. But it's okay, everybody can understand that. Now let's put it again to restart the watch. So if we continue counterclockwise to look at the watch, we see the barrel. And the barrel has the same effect with a sort of bridge that is not the bridge, it's actually the main plate. But here we have worked on the main plate to leave part of the main plate go above the rest of the main plate as if it was a bridge. And then we have done some anglage, some manual beveling on all the different arms of this part of the main plate that goes a little bit down. So it's a very unique three-dimensional effect. Below, you can see the cover of the barrel, which also creates an effect of a tripod or three double arms that is part of the signature of the design of this watch. Mm-hmm. Now, if we continue, we see the automatic part and the two one-ways, which are here with the little balls inside the gearing that you can see, and these two little wheels that are powering the two one-ways. So now this micro rotor is bidirectional and can wind either counterclockwise or clockwise. Now, of course, because it's bidirectional, it's not spinning anymore. So you don't have the pleasure of making your micro rotor spin, but you have
the pleasure of being more efficient.
Exactly. You cannot have everything, you know.
No, exactly.
So you have to decide what you love most, and then you see that suddenly the micro rotor has the same shape of being held in the air with two double arms that are at 120, 140 degrees, one with each other, repeating this kind of design code or design language. In the center of the watch now, you have the minute and hour train that is here, and that would be floating in the air in an impossible manner if we had not a bridge to keep it together. And here, what we have decided to do was to take inspiration from the rattrapante and use the same tripod shape of the rattrapante to create a bridge that is a tripod and a bridge at the same time, holding together the mechanism. And here we are. We keep some of the elements of what made the SHX5 so unique. So the darkness of the treatment, for example, the indexes. The indexes now are floating in the air like they were for the osmium. And then the thing that we have added to this execution was also this sapphire ring that shows all the minutiae and holds in the air the indexes in the same way as the osmium was doing. And it's holding also a little ring that is a small second directly powered from the main train, and that is a little bit floating in the air with a beautiful axis, bring it at the level of the ring. So it's a very 3D movement. It feels like we are diving into watchmaking. And that's creating, of course, a sensation that for everyone who loves mechanics is a little bit goosebumps, we say, I think in English.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
So, Xavier, I think only one question remains to us at this point, and that is, how many examples of this marvelous new watch that you just showed us are we going to see?
So we're going to see 100 per year. Mm-hmm. The whole idea was to be sure to deliver what we promised.
Yes.
Because there is a lot of excitement sometimes in the market, but we wanted to keep things under control.
Yes, sustainable.
Exactly. And keep our words. So that's why we said, okay, in 2025, only 2025, not before, because we have all the guys who have ordered watches before.
Absolutely.
And they're waiting.
Yes.
And we have to be faithful with them.
Absolutely. It's a sense of responsibility that you have towards your clients. I think people really appreciate that.
Yeah. So for 2025, 100 Revelation, so the skeletonized version of the Antarctique. And then 2026 we do again 100. So every year we'll have a run of 100.
Yes, I think we all appreciate. Thank you for your honesty. I think we all appreciate that openness and transparency, just like the Revelation itself.
Thanks.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today with myself and Xavier. We're presenting to you one of the new watches of Czapek at Watches and Wonders 2023. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more content like this. And we will see you again really soon.
Bye.